don't need to talk about it, not the pain, not the plans, not the dream you keep in your chest like a secret fire. You've said enough to people who didn't listen, to people who smiled while doubting you, to people who only believed in you when it was easy to. You know what talking has gotten you: empty nods, half-hearted compliments, people telling you to be realistic. But here's what no one tells you. You don't need a voice to prove yourself. You need movement. You need silence that scares them. You need results that speak before your mouth does. Because the moment you say less, you become more. There's power in restraint. There's presence in mystery. There's respect in stillness. Stoic thinkers knew this. They didn't chase applause. They didn't overshare. They walked through storms without announcing the weather. And now it's your turn to stop begging the world to understand you and start becoming too undeniable to ignore. So don't explain, don't justify, don't argue, say nothing, prove everything. He used to explain himself for everything, why he stayed in, why he worked late, why he was different. Every time he spoke, he was negotiating for permission to be who he already was, not from enemies, from friends, family, co-workers, people who smiled, nodded, but never really saw him. He told himself it was normal, that being misunderstood was just part of life. So he kept smiling, kept softening his edges, kept playing small to make others comfortable. But one night it snapped. He was in the middle of a sentence, justifying something he didn't even need to explain, and mid-breath he stopped. Not because he forgot what to say, because something inside him finally said, "Enough." That moment didn't come with fireworks. It came with silence. He didn't finish the sentence, didn't defend himself, didn't argue. He just looked at them and knew they'll never get it, and they don't have to. That was the moment he realized peace doesn't beg to be understood. It simply is. And real power, it doesn't raise its voice. It raises its standards. Silence isn't passive. It's not giving up. It's not weakness. Real silence, the kind that makes people uncomfortable, is a strategy. It says, "I don't need you to get it. I'm already moving." This is the Stoic mindset. You don't prove anything with arguments. You prove it by showing up when it's hard, by doing the work while others scroll, by growing without announcing it, by building when no one's clapping. Most people speak to escape discomfort, but Stoics sit in it. They train themselves to stay calm when the world screams, to act with discipline, not noise. When something upsets you, don't explain, don't vent, don't tweet. Pause, observe, and choose your response with precision, because you're not here to be seen reacting. You're here to become unshakable. Let them talk. Let them guess. Let them doubt. You're not in this to prove them wrong. You're in this to become someone who doesn't need proof. If this feels like something you've needed, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. The next part might just be the one that flips the switch. You don't have to announce your growth. In fact, the more powerful you become, the less you'll feel the need to explain it. That's the shift from proving to becoming. You stop needing their applause. You stop needing to explain why you're distant, focused, or different. You just are. Here's how Stoics practiced it. They questioned every reaction. They didn't say, "I'm angry." They asked, "Is this anger useful?" They didn't say, "I failed." They asked, "What's in my control?" They replaced noise with clarity, and that clarity made them untouchable. You can do the same. Start catching yourself when you feel the urge to explain. When you want to say, "Sorry I didn't reply," pause and say nothing. When you want to over-explain why you're not showing up for everyone else, remember, you're finally showing up for yourself. This isn't coldness, it's alignment. It's you saying, with your life, "This is who I am now, and I don't need to defend that." And that version of you, he doesn't chase validation. He creates gravity. People notice, but not because you ask them to, because you no longer need them to. Be honest for a second. How much of your life has been lived to be understood by people who never really tried to understand you? The words you've chosen carefully, the energy you've poured into justifying, the silence you've held when you wanted to scream, not because you were weak, but because you were taught that being accepted meant being soft, being agreeable, being quiet. But let me ask you this. What if being misunderstood wasn't something to fix, but something to protect? What if the fact that they don't get you means you're finally doing something real? What if you've spent your whole life translating yourself into a language they'll never speak? And what if now you just stopped explaining, stopped decoding your truth for ears that don't deserve it, stopped giving your clarity away like it's something cheap? Maybe your silence isn't a wall. Maybe it's a door. And maybe the only thing left to ask is, who are you when no one's asking you to be anything else? You've been quiet for a while now, but this time it's different. You're not silent because you're scared. You're silent because you've learned the difference between reaction and response. You've realized that not every opinion deserves your energy, that not every question deserves an answer, that most people don't want truth, they want noise, and you're done playing in the noise. Now your silence isn't empty, it's full of clarity, full of discipline, full of decisions no one sees but everyone will feel. This is your new language, stillness, movement without announcement, power that doesn't perform. So let them talk, let them wonder, let them think you're lost while you're building, because real transformation never looks like what they expect. It's slower, stronger, and it doesn't need validation. Now here's the question. If your silence had a voice, what would it be saying about the person you're becoming? Sit with that, and if you're ready to go deeper, subscribe and turn on the bell. You already know we're not done yet.